Hey guys, Hitman89 here, I hope you're doing great. Last week we had my updated Dragon's Dogma 2 review, check it out if you're interested. And today we're gonna be looking at the 15 best PC games of 2024. But before we have a look at the first game, make sure to check out Instant Gaming, the best place to save a lot of money on your favorite games. Instead of waiting for a sale, you could get your games day one and still save at least 10 bucks. And as you can see, all their games are super cheap. Instant Gaming is 100% legit. All the games come straight from the authorized resellers, so go ahead and get yourself a couple of games using the link in the description. It's a direct way to support the channel and an excellent way for you to save money. Now let's have a look at the first game on my list, Witchfire. This is a challenging dark fantasy RPG shooter. Seriously, it's tough, and it'll definitely remind you of Painkiller. There are different classes to choose from. I tried a couple, and if your aim is not too bad, I recommend you go with the Penitent. In this game, you have to go on expeditions, kill a bunch of enemies, collect some valuable stuff, find a portal, and get the fuck out of there before the enemies overwhelm you. There is a kinda roguelite style progress system, except here, when you die, just like in Dark Souls, you have a chance to retrieve your remains. Problem is, I get too greedy and I end up dying like a dumbass the second time as well, therefore making zero progress. So don't be like me. Let's move on to the second game you need to play if you have a decent rig. On PC, maxed out, Silent Hill is one of the best looking games this year. There is some stuttering, but I was easily able to overlook that because the game is real good. See this four-legged bitch? She tried to make it seem like she ran away, but she was just waiting for me to show up so she could stop hugging this wall and beat the shit out of me. Her plan didn't work though, so I fucked her up. By the way, I can't be the only one who loves stomping these monsters. I find it so enjoyable. I had a blast playing Silent Hill 2. Definitely get this instead of that new Until Dawn remake. Now at number 3, we have a multiplayer game. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 feels like a 2005 game in a good way. You know, back when games were gory, great, and most importantly, fun. No agendas or any other bullshit here. You know what I'm talking about. There are tons of awesome execution and parry animations, an insane number of enemies on screen, and can we take a moment to appreciate how beautiful the game looks on PC? Plus you can play it offline, solo, or online with up to 2 friends. Next, we have God of War Ragnarok. It looks good, the gameplay is solid, and story-wise, it's a direct sequel to the 2018 reboot. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like Atreus. This is basically me every time I have to play one of his missions. All jokes aside, I don't like the writing in Ragnarok, plus it feels like they stretched the game out just to be able to justify its price tag. And I know what some of you are probably thinking.
Who the fuck does he think he is?
I think he's
piece of shit.
Alright, chill out guys. I still think this is a good game, just not a masterpiece. Now, when making these lists, I have to take into consideration all kinds of tastes and preferences to make sure everyone finds the game they like. And this time, I didn't forget about those of you with a foot fetish. That's why, at number 5, we have Angerfoot, an extremely fun to play, fast-paced shooter that's super underrated. Speaking of which, if you're only interested in smaller / underrated PC games, then check out this video instead by clicking the bubble that just showed up or the link in the description. Back to Angerfoot. On this game, the violence gang steals your sneakers and you have to get them back by kicking the shit out of everyone. Needless to say, this game is absolutely hilarious. Like, why are there 10 guys on a toilet? I don't even wanna know. Next, we have another game with a crazy concept. Squirrel With A Gun is a game that lets you play as a squirrel with a gun, and it's nuts. Alright, I'll stop with that shit. This is a platformer where you have to fight a bunch of FBI agents that want you dead. You can perform a variety of finishing moves. This one is my favorite. It's ridiculous, and that's why I love it. Now, we haven't had a proper old-school RTS game in a while, but Age of Mythology Retold is here, and it's pretty damn good. There are different mythologies to choose from, and I love how Cyclopes can just pick people up and throw them around like they're nothing. If you're into city builders, we've had a couple of good ones this year, so you might want to go with Manor Lords or Frostpunk 2. At number 8, we have my favorite game this year, Dragon's Dogma 2. I love open world RPGs with a fun combat system, and this game is exactly that. Exploration is also exciting, especially during nighttime because you can't see shit, and because there are more dangerous enemies out there. Grabbing onto big ass monsters and stabbing them over and over again is so much fun. If you want to find out more, check out the updated Dragon's Dogma 2 review I just made. Moving on from my favorite RPG to probably my favorite survival game this year. Enshrouded has been in early access since January, and it helped me go through the first few months of this shitty year. It got even better with updates, and for me, what makes this game unique is the fact it's both a survival game and an open world RPG. Oh, and the world is voxel based, meaning you can pretty much destroy everything and dig holes everywhere. You can also be as creative as you want and build a bunch of super complex and well decorated bases. Enshrouded can obviously be played solo, but it supports up to 16 players in co-op, so grab some friends and you'll have a blast. Speaking of friends, you might lose a couple playing Helldivers too, cause here, friendly fire is always on, and in a game where there are some big ass explosions every 2 seconds and everyone's throwing grenades, that's a problem. Sometimes I kill my teammates on purpose and I try to make it seem like an accident. Why? Cause I'm a piece of shit. Let me show you another game. Black Myth Wukong is a very demanding game, but man, the graphics and art style are worth it. Everything looks insane. I'm not into boss rush games, plus I want to be able to use weapons like giant swords, not staffs, so Black Myth Wukong is not for me, but objectively speaking, this is one of the best games this year. At number 12, we have another breathtaking game. Horizon Forbidden West landed on PC earlier this year, and in my opinion, this is the best looking open world game yet. If you're more interested in replaying the first game, or maybe you haven't played it yet, get Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered instead, which is basically the first game but with Forbidden West's graphics. But if, like me, you're not really into fighting robots, then you might want to check out another PlayStation game that released on PC this year. I don't know how Ubisoft thought it was a good idea to make Assassin's Creed Shadows in Japan when Ghost of Tsushima already exists. Watching the beautiful sunset while riding your horse in a windy field will probably make you forget there are Mongols everywhere waiting for you to show up so they can chop you into pieces. You can sneak up on them and take them out silently, or if you're a real man, you can challenge these idiots to a standoff and take them out one by one. You guys remember Hades? Well, Hades 2 has been in early access for a few months now, and honestly, it's already more polished than a lot of games out there. If you've never played a roguelike before, the concept is pretty simple. Every time you die, you have to start over, but you get to unlock some permanent buffs that'll help you do better on your next run. Well, hopefully. Last but not least, to future-proof this video, I'ma go ahead and include one of my most anticipated games this year, Stalker 2. It was delayed several times, so let's hope it doesn't turn out to be shitty. Or at least, let's hope if it has some issues at launch that it'll be something fixable with patches. I feel like nowadays that's the best you can hope for. Anyway, I loved Stalker 1 and I can't wait to get fucked up in the dark, this time in 4K. And maybe I'll scream like a little bitch when those invisible mutants attack me out of nowhere. Who knows? One thing's for sure though, my PC is ready. And that's gonna be it for the best PC games of 2024. I hope you found this video useful. I try to include as many exclusives as possible, PC ports, and also a couple of underrated games as well. Please don't forget to support the channel with a thumbs up and a subscription. It really helps a lot. It's been Hitman89. Have a good one.
I will not stop, I am prepared to get to the top, yeah, you must be rare. Got 'em like, hey.